Hey everybody. So we are back for another episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Season 7, episode 7, Beef is Served. Oh Lord. So many thoughts, so many thoughts. I don't know how much of it I'm gonna get through. So starting the episode, they're obviously just waking up, that kind of thing. Mia and Jacqueline, okay, are fighting over tampons, lip gloss, razors that Gordon used for his balls at home. Like, she was just like, she needs to go to the nearest CVS. All of it sounds a little weird to me, but I'm just like, okay. Anyway, Karen and Wendy. So they're just chilling downstairs. Talking about how they don't like to walk on their shoes in somebody else's house. Agreed. Y'all could have both taken off your shoes. But anyway, Karen doesn't want to fuck with Sharice like that. She basically says there isn't a bridge for them to walk over. She accused her of having a boyfriend while married. Now, we always talk about, or people on the show always talk about, don't come for people's marriages, don't come for their husbands or their kids, particularly when it had nothing to do with it. Sharice, if you were supposed to be Karen's friend, saying what you said was not necessary. Not taking into consideration her family, her husband, and her kids included, was tacky and it was reckless. And I don't like it. And no, Karen doesn't have to fuck with you, and Karen is me in that situation. No, we ain't got shit to talk about. Bitch, you know what you did, and you did it on purpose. Next. Okay, so Giselle, Ashley, and Mia kind of meet like in the pool area, the outside of the hotel, whatever. Ashley is TikToking. Whatever. Giselle is always noticing weird shit. Something's wrong with Giselle. Like Ashley having no panties on. You don't have panties on today? Like, bitch, what are you worried about for she a grown woman? And Peter Thomas's quotes, like she starts quoting all these things Peter Thomas has said that are negative about Wendy, so on and so forth. And then she gets into Wendy's pocket. Giselle's gossiping about how Wendy was looking Peter up and trying to find things they had in common so she could go into business with him. As far as I'm concerned, well, all business takes research. I mean, Peter Thomas would never be on my list, but nevertheless, like, people do that. That's not abnormal. And this may or may not have happened because Giselle's a liar. But why is Peter discussing this with you? It's given real Nene back when Real Housewives of Atlanta was the real motherfucking Housewives of Atlanta, and she called him Patricia. It's giving Patricia vibes, okay? And I'm not here for it. All right. So, but why is Peter discussing this with you? Because you had a fundraiser at Bar One. That's how you met him. Fundraiser for who, Giselle? Who? A fundraiser for you to finish that home of yours? You up here talking about someone, Wendy ain't got no money. Bitch, you ain't got no money either. We are all so unimpressed, okay? Which was why you did that last desperate attempt to get Jamal to sponsor your lifestyle because time was running out. Anyway, Ashley and Sharice aren't wearing panties, which I think is fucking gross, but they seem to notice that about each other. And they're just like, well, you know, it's not uncomfortable for me. And Ashley was like, I just hope nothing drips. Gross. Gross. And I don't give a fuck about how nobody feel about it. Don't waste my time putting no shit in the comments. Well, I don't give a fuck. Don't tell me I'm judging you. I don't like it. It's nasty as hell. Next. So I feel like Mia overdid it with complaining about Sharice's complaining. Okay? Sharice admits that she never... I mean, they were in the car when this happened. And I felt like Mia overdid it with complaining about the way Sharice was complaining about having a bathroom and looking for other accommodations. I honestly think that's the most appropriate way to do it. If this isn't for me, let me call around and find someplace else I can stay. So in the second car, they're just talking. Robin's looking up dumb shit on her phone. And Sharice admits, like, I've never pooped in front of my husband or farted. Like, I've just never done that. I too am a part of that group. I don't have a husband, but I have never farted or pooped in front of my significant other. It's just something about it. I don't know what it is. It's uncomfortable for me. It makes me like feel weird. I don't know. I can't do it. Anyway, I did think Husband and Wives did it, but anyway. Ashley, Giselle, and Robin clearly don't understand. Robin brings up the fact she walks around naked in front of her sons. That's gonna be a no for me. Okay, and rarely am I with Giselle. But Giselle was like, these little boys are growing up to be 14. They know, where vagina is and all that. I don't think that's appropriate for little boys. And call me old school, call me conservative. I don't. If your daughter walks in your room while you're getting dressed, that's different. Because y'all have the same part, so on and so forth. I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm not into that. And once again, I'm with Giselle that it's okay once in a while if you have girls, not boys. If you're the mother with the girls or the father with boys, it's different. Ashley's mother apparently still does that. Even with her brother in the house. And we wonder why Ashley is the way she is. Next. So they get down to bar 1. This is where all the shit went down. All right. Candace is supposed to land that night around 10. Okay? Ashley is talking shit about Candace because she can't help herself if she's not talking shit about somebody. Giselle said that Chris propositioned her friend by touching her bed. Her butt. Giselle clearly made up the lie and basically pulled the Portia. Who said that? Who said it? Who was it? And it was just like, this is bullshit. So they ran back to tape when she was talking about it. And it was slightly different from what Ashley had actually said. So I'm just like, oh, bitch. So Giselle can't help herself but to be messy. And then inserts herself in another conversation that had abso-fucking-lutely nothing to do with her bitch ass. Okay? And her badass skin. Alright? So Giselle brings up the Karen and Sheree. She was like, oh, I was happy to see y'all talk to the airport. Have y'all talked since? If we haven't, bitch, it's none of your goddamn business. But anyway. So Sharice, basically they have a light back and forth. And I could tell Karen had decided I am reserving my energy. And it is not for any of you bitches. Okay? And then Sharice had taken Wendy's words out of context when Karen had said something along the lines of, well, if it's well-intended or whatever. She was like, well, you said I was ill-intended. A bunch of bullshit. And then when they were talking about things that they heard, Jacqueline backed Wendy up when Wendy was talking about the kind of things that Mia had said in the car. And even though it was a quick shot toward Jacqueline, like the camera and the sound, it was Jacqueline. And Jacqueline was just not going along with it. So then Mia started intimidating Sharice. Or, no, not intimidating. Imitating Sharice. And talking about, I need a bathroom. Oh, I need other accommodations. Honestly, the shit was funny. But I really feel like Giselle, who's supposed to be her homegirl, sitting there laughing. I don't understand why y'all never call that bitch out. Next. So Karen was, she was kind of just leery with Sharice. Well, I don't want to say leery. She was clear with Sharice, and she was clear to Sharice that she is not interested in having a friendship, especially since she hasn't called Karen in 5 years. What I got from that was, translation, you're only trying to go out to lunch and contact me now that you're on this show and trying to solidify yourself with another season. And I'm not going to help you do it. And I don't blame you, Karen. Do your thing. All right? Giselle's fake ass talking about, just tell us the issue so we can move on. Bitch, Karen's whole reaction was giving straight up moved on. Like, why does she need to tell y'all the issue? When have y'all ever fucking resolved any goddamn thing? I'll wait. Exactly. Anyway, so Mia went to talk with Peter about his issue with Wendy, which was a messy fucking move in her first goddamn place. Sharice came along, and I was like, what the fuck is Sharice doing in this scene? Came along and then left. She asked Peter, she was like, well, I wanted to set up a time so maybe I could pick your brain. I'm interested in setting up a champagne lounge, and I would love to just hear your thoughts about it. I'm sorry, last time I checked, Peter was not a known businessman that does good business without housewives in his life to help promote it. Anyway, but okay. So then Sharice left, thank God. And I just don't understand why Wendy's in the middle of it, other to be messy and then to lie about her role in it, because that's what she does. All right. Giselle, oh yeah. So Wendy was like, well, at least Sharice's check will clear. And I'm like, so now Wendy is broke. This is the second time we heard this. Giselle called her broke at the beginning, and now Mia's calling her broke. So Jacqueline is telling people about Mia and how she's a bit much, just back at the dinner table, about how Mia's a bit much, and if they weren't friends before as kids, it may not be her friend now. She may not be her friend now, just because she has a lot of people who kind of agree with her and do what she says, and she's not one of those people. Giselle's messy, sorry ass asked why Mia and Peter had a private conversation. If you were supposed to know what happened in their private conversation, Giselle. Okay, but nevertheless, this is when all hell broke out. So Mia is saying, Wendy, you're broke, okay? Mia, you started with Wendy, okay? And that bullshit coming out of that red rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo mouth. Robin, shut the fuck up. You antagonized her. You're antagonizing her. No, bitch. You have gotten up in Mia's face, and Mia almost whooped your motherfucking ass, because we know you pussy. We know you a motherfucking marshmallow. And then here you come with your bullshit. I'm not here for it. Okay? So, you started with Wendy, and you need to respect Wendy's boundaries. Okay? What's the big deal if you meet with him or whatever? First of all, if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of this season, Wendy made it very clear her and Eddie share finances. No, she can't just go and have a meeting with a man about paperwork, so on and so forth, and her husband hasn't agreed and they're not on the same page. That's just what the fuck it is. But whatever it is, it's between them. Robin called Wendy antagonistic. I already talked about that. Giselle starts trying to pull Karen into it. And Karen is so fucking me. When you see a bunch of shit like that, well, Karen is so not me in the sense that, like, she'll answer the questions, but she's not gonna get out of character. Me, the minute them bitches was throwing water, Salah would have grabbed her purse, walked away, walked out of that restaurant, let them bitches pay for all their shit and damages, and I would have been in a lift right on back to the hotel or wherever the fuck they staying, packed my motherfucking shit and been on the next plane out. And anything I didn't get, I could just buy again. That would not be me. Okay? So Robin keeps calling Wendy antagonistic. Robin, did you just learn the word antagonistic? That wouldn't surprise me, because you are not smart. And it's annoying. So Giselle starts trying to pull Karen into it. We know that. So Robin, just shut the fuck up. While all this antagonizing shit to try to cover up the fact that you were doing things to mistreat Wendy. You came at her wrong. You came at her left. And you need to reconcile that. And I don't understand why people keep letting Giselle, dizzy ass Giselle, and fucking brain fucked Robin get away with this bullshit. I just don't get it. Mia, you started that shit. You started it. Okay? They're icing Wendy out, and I can see it. These bitches are delusional, but Wendy got them together before she got up from that table. She was like, Giselle, how dare you sit up here and tell me I shouldn't be bothering people. I shouldn't react this way. I shouldn't talk this way. I shouldn't do this. When Monique and Candace got into it, you were all against violence. Now, all of a sudden, when it's against me, you change. Yeah, Mia, that's what I've been telling y'all. That's what I've been telling all y'all. Y'all was all up Giselle's ass. Giselle ain't nobody's fucking friend. Giselle had a problem with all of them. And this is why I got a beef, and I don't give two fucks about how anybody fucking feel about it. This colorism bullshit that the Real Housewives of Potomac is always pushing, I'm not fucking here for it. Candace, Wendy, I'm sorry that y'all disagree and have fights with the other lighter complexion women on the cast. But you know what? When they did that to brown skin Monique, you bitches sat there, let people call her aggressive, let people call her wild, let people call her, say she act like an animal. And that kind of shit, that racist language used against black people as black women, you should have fucking known better. And you did it any goddamn way. And karma is a bitch. And y'all were wrong for what y'all did to Monique. And y'all were wrong for participating in bullshit that had nothing to do with you, Wendy. So miss me with the bullshit. I don't feel bad. All y'all are bitches sitting around the table. Didn't nobody kick Sharice off. Bravo did. But everybody else didn't. And they replaced her with Monique. So I don't want to hear all this shit with Candace and Wendy. Every time somebody disagrees with them or doesn't like them, it's colorism. Well, what was the case? What decides that? It's not like racism. Not in the United States, it's not. Because we all black if we not purely white. White is pure, black is not considered pure. We do not have the power to inflict where you live, where you don't live, whether you get a loan for a car, whether you don't get a loan for a car, what kind of job you get, what kind of job you don't. Racism is about having the power to impose your prejudices against other people. Colorism, I'm a firm believer, starts in your family, starts with that comparison from cousin to cousin, sister to sister. You have good hair, you have bad hair, you have lighter skin, you have darker skin. Look, this one is prettier than this one because of these qualities. This one, you never comment on their looks, but you make them feel less than. That shit starts in the home. That shit starts in your family. And let me tell you, contrary to popular belief, colorism, before y'all start hatching on, clutching to these buzzwords, colorism is a deeply, deeply, deeply subjective thing. What's considered light skin to one person is not light skin to another. What's considered dark skin to one person might be considered brown skin. What's considered brown skin to one might be considered light skin to another. So this colorism stuff is very much intraracial. Not saying it doesn't have a history and legacy within slavery, but it's intraracial, which means it's within amongst the races. So if this is about black men, basically, and I'm making these points because I think these are important, because I refuse to wear myself out about this bullshit all season. And this is about black men wanting to date lighter skinned women. Yeah, black men need to deal with that as part of their self-hatred. If this is about black women, and plenty of you, and I know and have met plenty of you, I only date dark skinned men. I don't want anything to do with a light skinned man, this, that, and the other. You need to check your colorism and check how hypocritical you're being. When it's inconvenient for you, then it's colorism. When it's convenient for you and you want to date this dark skinned guy, all of a sudden it's not colorism. Girl, get your life together. Everybody on this cast, get their life together. Mia, you was wrong. You need to take your ass home. Wendy didn't ask for any of that. And Wendy, honestly, you should have bopped that bitch. But that's just me. Y'all have a good night. Be sure to like and subscribe. I would love for you all to like and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Bye.